I just finished watching Arcane and I love this show. In the same way that the MCU is based off of the Marvel comics, Arcane is based off the canon of League of Legends. It borrows elements from the League canon to develop this new story. This works really well because League has 12 years of lore that they've built up, so they can take these old stories and refine them to a T and present them as new. In other words, where League of Legends is the rough draft, Arcane is the final draft. I had avoided League of Legends until about 6 months ago when I was forced to play it for my first time, and now I play the game willingly. Where did it all go wrong? Anyway, as someone who hardly knows any League of Legends lore, you can totally watch this show without having any prior information about the universe. Now I'm gonna warn you off the bat, there will be spoilers in this video about Arcane. So if you want to watch the show with fresh eyes, do not watch this video. If you have watched it or don't really care about spoilers, then continue watching this video. All of the characters in this show feel very human. For every one right choice they're making, it feels like they're making 5 wrong ones. The alignment chart for these characters shows them coming up as all kinds of evil. Except for Heimerdinger. He's the light in the dark tunnel that is this show. Silco is one of the best villains I've seen in a while. Silco ends up being a better version of Mother Gothel from the movie Tangled. Both of them have similar arcs of manipulating their children into affection. However, Mother Gothel never develops a genuine connection with Rapunzel, which feels very weird. They spend 18 years with each other, but she only cares about her eternal life-giving hair. On the other hand, all of Silco's manipulations towards Jinx to keep her around come from 2 different places. 1 from his warped view of siblings caused by Vander's betrayal, and 2 from his genuine love and care for Jinx developed over the time that they've spent together. You really believe that Silco believes that Jinx is his daughter, which you really don't feel with Mother Gothel. Jace gets a lot of hate from people that I really don't personally get. Sure, he makes a lot of poor decisions throughout the show, but that mainly comes from him being manipulated by other characters, mainly Mel. His whole character arc is supposed to be about how his inexperience and headstrong nature can lead to negative outcomes. But in the end, his heart is always in the right place and he just needs to learn to reel it back a bit. I could go on and on about all the characters of this show, so let's move on to the visuals. The visuals in this show are also astounding. One of my favorite artistic details within the show is how they use messy 2D lines over scenes to represent intense emotion. One of my favorite visual scenes through the show definitely has to be Echo versus Jinx on the bridge. It utilizes powerful imagery comparing their past playful fighting to their present day life or death serious fight. This show is a visual masterclass in the idea of show don't tell in animation, and it thrives the most in the scenes that let the visuals do all the talking. The soundtrack is also pretty sweet. I've seen a lot of people complain about Imagine Dragons throughout the show, and I get it. I don't hate it, but I understand that Enemy is about a D or C tier Imagine Dragons song at best. A lot of people hate Imagine Dragons because a lot of their songs feel very similar to each other, and I definitely think Enemy has a similar problem to feeling like any other Imagine Dragons song. Personally, I actually really like the in-universe version of Enemy comparative to the intro version. The in-universe version adds this brass and percussion that's not there in the intro version, and I think that really adds and makes it not feel as much like an Imagine Dragons song. And if you really hate it, you can just hit the skip intro button. There were a few things that I didn't really like about Arcane though. One thing that you start to notice is that all the characters that are playable within the game of League of Legends are immune to death. This really detracts from certain scenes once you notice the pattern of them not being able to die. A lot of tension that they try to build just doesn't work for this reason. It was kind of weird that they had a sex scene because no League of Legends player knows what sex is. Genuinely, what actually made the scene so weird was the lack of build-up in Jace's and Mel's relationship up to this point. The Caitlyn and Vi relationship also fell into a similar issue. This is most likely due to the fast pacing of the show, as they have a lot of main characters in the show that they need to follow till the end. By the end of the show, it felt like they were juggling too many plot lines, so some end less satisfyingly than others do. Honestly, a lot of these pieces are just nitpicks, and I was thoroughly impressed with the show throughout the whole thing. Overall, I'm super excited for Season 2 of Arcane. When I was watching through, I was kind of hoping that Season 2 would be about a different aspect of the League universe. But by the end of it, I thought the conclusion was both satisfying and left me wanting to see more of these characters and where this story would go. If you watch this video before watching Arcane, you should definitely take the time and go watch through all of it. You will not be disappointed. Hopefully from here they can start developing other shows in the Arcane universe and maybe even one day delve into the world of Valorant as a show. Thank you guys very much for watching the video. Let me know down below what you guys thought of Arcane if you watched it. If you liked the video, leave a like down below and I'll see you guys in the next video.